in attacks by bandits in 2024. The bandits have also hindered access to farms across the country. Farmers in Benue and other states told correspondents that many of their colleagues were killed by the hoodlums. They confirmed that they had abandoned their farms following the spate of attacks. Out of the 165 farmers killed this year, the highest number was recorded in Benue State, where 130 were murdered by the bandits. Also in Sokoto State, 28 farmers have been killed since the beginning of the year.
In the meantime, until government places premium value on the lives of citizens, the trend of negative news won't change the country. The duo of retired Group Captain Oladele Olashope and security expert Dr. Tony Opoyeto expressed this while featuring on BCOS TV Current Affairs Breakfast Program AM 120. Our reporter Olamide Owolabi monitored the program. Our report is presented by Victor Opone.
The recent killing of several military men on a peace mission to two warring communities, Okoloba and Okwama, both in Bomadi and Ukeli South local government areas of Delta State respectively, and the military's reprisal attack in the communities have continued to generate various reactions from Nigerians. While fielding questions on BCOS TV Current Affairs Breakfast Program, an ex-serviceman, retired Group Captain Oladele Olashope, justified the military's response to the attack, stating that the military can't sit back and watch while its members are being killed.
When you are called to come and make peace, you don't expect ambush. When you are called to come and do something that will bring about peace, you don't even expect any incident of firing. So you tend to lower your guards. But however, the Yoruba will say, you expect anything. Firstly, the intelligence officer of the units must have done his job and must have been familiar with even some of those people in that area. And definitely, if somebody has already been killed, you expect people to be taken away. But those boys, firstly, how did they have possession of guns? You see, when you are doing something, you should envisage the long-term effect. Guns in the hands of untrained minds.
Also reacting on the program via phone call, a security expert, Dr. Tony Opoyeto, described the attack as a big insult to national security while insinuating that the military's response to the incident was a lazy approach to investigation. He added that the military should have punished the perpetrators alone instead of attacking vulnerable villagers.
If you say mercenaries have been employed, now you ask the question, who will profit the more or the most from attacking the military? Is it your Koma village? Is it your Koloba village? Or is it the terrorist criminal group? Who will benefit the most? I will tell you, with all audacity that this is a pure terrorist attack. As far as I'm concerned, expect the military is going to come out with scientific evidence to tie or nexus the villagers to the killing of these kind officers, of these great men that have to pay daily for absolutely nothing, which is extremely painful to me as an individual and to the nation as a whole, So if not, then I will tell you that this is a terrorist attack, a pure terrorist attack on the military and also provoking the military to do what? To attack the village. That's my own first conclusion until I see any evidence that establishes the other way around.
They recommended that guns and arms are withdrawn from militants while advising the military to be strategic in its approach in conducting a thorough investigation and fishing out the perpetrators.
Still on insecurity, the recent stance of President Bola Tinubu, who refused to pay ransom for the over 200 adopted puppies and teachers in Kaduna State, has raised questions among Nigerians regarding the fates of the victims. In this report, our reporter Olamide Owolabi examines the impacts and implications for paying ransom for kidnapped victims and not paying. Our report is presented by Timitope Oki.
Despite a 2022 law prohibiting handing money to kidnappers, as well as denials from officials, it has been observed that kidnapped victims in Nigeria are often freed after negotiations with authorities or family members. Kidnapping not only tears families apart, but has a great effect on communities who have to pool funds to pay the ransoms, often forcing them to sell possessions and also to crowdfund on the internet. Kidnapping appears to be a lucrative enterprise for criminals, impacting negatively on almost every segment of society, including individuals, families, and businesses, while the perpetrators are becoming more emboldened. Recently, over 200 pupils were kidnapped in Kaduna State, in which a ransom of 1 billion naira was demanded, with the ultimatum of 20 days, or the pupils will be killed. However, the President, Bola Tinubu, expressed his resolve not to pay ransom, but requested that security forces secure their release. This generated various reactions from Nigerians on the fate of these pupils. Reacting to this, an ex-serviceman, retired Group Captain Oladele Olasokwe, supported the President's stand, stating that continuous payment of ransoms to kidnappers will strengthen and empower them to become more dangerous.
They shouldn't pay this ransom.
It is just a pity that innocent students that went to school are being rounded up and being put on death row. The moment you are paying bandits, they are becoming stronger. News in Mali, Bamako, capital of Mali, they sell arms, AK-47, as if they are selling them like bread in the open. When they collect that money, they go there to buy more arms. That means we will now have a situation of infinite regress, a vicious circle of insecurity, time and time again. Look, let them go after those buggers. They've gone after them. They return fire. Let them engage them. What were the people looking when they were taking them? See, we have a situation in Nigeria. Somebody's house will be burning. They will be looking at it. Hey, whoa, hey, you know, hey. What were they supposed to do? No initiative to call fire brigade. No initiative to call DPO. DPO, what can you do? In this Kaduna something, personally, I will not advise payment of ransom.
In his opinion, a legal practitioner, Mr. Fatai Akinsomi, explained that it will be difficult to stop people from paying ransoms when their relatives are kidnapped.
Some other people who are kidnapped, the government will not look in that direction. Let us negotiate with them. We give you amnesty. But those who are within the system, the government, in most cases, will now go and negotiate with the bandit, some state government. What is the difference between that negotiation and vulnerable Nigerians paying ransom? Can we demarcate where one ends and where the other starts? Because negotiation is trying to reward the kidnappers. If you give an amnesty, it's still a reward. If you pay ransom, it's still a reward. So, personally, it will be very difficult for the government to deter those who want to pay ransom when they are in crisis, when they are psychologically imbalanced, not to effect payment.
Respondents, however, emphasized the need for security outfits to re-strategize and boost information gathering and dissemination in securing the country.
The Senate Loans Access to Higher Education Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2024. This comes after the Senate's consideration of the report of the Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TEF Fund that considered the bill. The chairman of the committee Senator Mantari Dantuse, presented the report during plenary. Recall that President Bola Tinubu at last week transmitted the bill to the National Assembly for its consideration and passage. The Senate had given the bill accelerated hearing by suspending relevant sections of its standing rules and referred the bill to the Committee of the Whole for the consideration.
Meanwhile, the Abia State House of Assembly has passed a bill to stop the payment of pensions to former governors and their deputies. The bill was sponsored by the House Majority Leader and member representing Aroko Chukwe State Constituency, Honorable Uchana Okoro. Speaker of the House, Honorable Emmanuel Emerua, announced the passage of the bill after its first, second reading consideration at the Committee of the Whole and its third reading during the day's plenary. Honorable Emerua noted that the bill would reduce the state's governance costs and redirect resources towards development. He said the bill, once ascended to by the governor, would be referred to as Abia State Governors and Deputies Repeal Law 2024. We shall now have...
Teacher, they always send and come clinic because of this cough wey no gree go.
Na true. He even gets more fever join, but we don't already give her like 2 bottles of cough syrup.
Mr. Chris, stubborn cough will be sign of different diseases demo, including tuberculosis.
Ah? Abba. Nurse, you mean say 7-year-old pikin sef fit get TB?
Yes, so Mr. Chris, I see another student last week wey get the same signs. Check am o, make you dey sure.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure. Children fit catch TB if dem dey around person wey get am. Testing and treatment for TB na free o. Call 3340 or dial star 3340 hash for more information. Now the Federal Ministry of Health, with support from the American people, bring una this informate.
Welcome back from that short break. This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. Nigeria ranked 102nd happiest nation in the world with 4.881 points, according to the latest edition of the World Happiness Report released today. This represents a drop of 7 places from 95 in the 2023 reports by the Sustainable Development Solutions. According to the report released annually to mark the International Day of Happiness, Nigeria now ranks 102 out of the 143 countries surveyed. Finland remained the world's happiest country for a 7th straight year. Nordic countries kept their places among the 10 most cheerful, with Denmark, Iceland, and Sweden trailing Finland. Afghanistan, plagued by humanitarian catastrophe since the Taliban regained control in 2020, stayed at the bottom of the 143 countries surveyed.
In the spirit of Lent and Ramadan fasts, the wife of the Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Tamno Minin Makinde, has donated food items to motherless children's homes within Ibadan metropolis. Some of the homes visited by Honorable Funke Comforter, the representative of the First Lady, included his heritage home, Oluyole Precious Down Syndrome Foundation, Ring Road, among others. Dupe Feintola has the details.
Mrs. Ibilola Oshin, the coordinator of Precious Down Syndrome Foundation Ring Road, and the children with Down syndrome in the home drank Gary yesterday afternoon because there's nothing left for them to eat. But luckily for them, the wife of the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Tamno Minin Makinde, put smiles on their faces as they joyfully received the food items presented to them. She equally appreciated the wife of the governor for the gesture, which would go a long way in ameliorating their sufferings.
People that do come around to donate in the past, when they come around, you see them donating just a carton of Indomie because of the high prices out there. This will go a long way, and I want to specially appreciate our mother, the wife of the executive governor of Oyo State, for doing this wonderful thing to us. It will go a very, very long way.
On the other hand, Mrs. Bidemi Ayeni of the God's Royal Ladies Home, in an emotion-laden voice, thanked the governor's wife for the gesture.
I really appreciate her so much because I never knew that I can be recognized. I don't know that those treasure kiddies can be recognized. But I thank God for today. And I appreciate her so much. I pray that she will live long to eat the fruit of her hard labor.
Other homes visited by the representative of the wife of the governor included his heritage home, Oluyole, Yeshua Christos Home, Felele Rab, Make a Future Alive Initiative, and Solution to Our Generation Home. The team also visited Agbedare Jesus Care Foundation Home for Children with Special Needs, Shashaya Home, Child Care Unit and Juvenile Correctional Home, all in Ijokodo. Addressing the children in the homes on behalf of Mrs. Makinde, Honorable Funke Comforter Olajide, who is the chairman House Committee on Women Affairs and Community Development, said the wife of the governor wants the children to see beyond their present condition.
Moving out today, just like what you rightly said, reaching out to the vulnerable and the special children, putting smiles on their faces, giving them hope again, hope to smile, hope for their future, hope to let them know that they have a better future ahead of them. And I must say a big thank you to her for this kind gesture.
The coordinators of the homes thanked the wife of the governor for the show of love. The representative of the wife of the governor was also accompanied on the visit by the State Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Wasilat Adegoke, and other political appointees. Items donated to the homes included bags of rice and beans, noodles, groundnut oil, toiletries, among others. Dupe Feintola, BCS News.
The ongoing conflict between the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the leadership of the Labour Party escalated today as the Labour Union instructed the state councils and political commission to picket Labour Party secretariats across the country. This was contained in a letter signed by the chairperson of NLC Political Commission, Titus Amba, and Secretary Chris Oyot. According to the letter, the directive is coming after a virtual meeting of the NLC, National Political Commission, and the leadership of the NLC state councils and state political committees. The NLC referred to what it called the intransigence of the national chairman of the Labour Party to unilaterally hold a national convention of the party, financial rascality, and contempt for the leadership of the NLC. Recall, however, that the National Working Committee of the Labour Party had accused the president of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, of making desperate attempts to replace Julius Abure, the Labour Party national chairman.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress today stormed the national secretariat of the Labour Party in Abuja to protest the party's national convention planned for the end of March. The Congress also demanded the sacking of the national chairman of the party, Julius Abure. The NLC leadership accused Mr. Abure of planning to hold a secret convention without the input of major stakeholders. The planned convention has pitched Mr. Abure against the NLC and the House of Representatives caucus, with members of the NLC accusing the LP national chairman of planning to destroy the party. Police, however, refused the protesters' entry into the party secretariats.
On the foreign scene, at least 12 miners have been killed in a gas explosion at a coal pit in Pakistan's southwestern province of Balochistan. The explosion at the private pit in Arnaya is the mining region of Khost, occurred late on Tuesday. It left workers trapped about 240 meters underground in a subsequent cave-in. Rescuers walked overnight, rescuing the bodies of 12 miners today. 8 people attempting to rescue their colleagues were also trapped for several hours. They were later brought to safety, some of them unconscious, by a government rescue team.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. The federal government says it has uncovered the identity of 15 entities, including 9 individuals and 6 bureau de change operators and firms allegedly involved in terrorism financing.
Nigeria ranked 102nd happiest nation in the world with 4.881 points, according to the latest edition of the World's Happiness Report released today.
In the spirit of Lent and the Ramadan fast, the wife of the Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Tamuno Menin Makinde, has donated food items to motherless children's homes within Ibadan metropolis.
At least 12 miners have been killed in a gas explosion at a coal pit in Pakistan's southwestern province of Balochistan.
That's all from Newscope desk. For now, it was packaged by Mary Adedapo and delivered by
Adetuke Olaleye
and Afolakemi Akombi. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba edition at 8 o'clock tonight. Good evening.